Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be with you today to talk about something that's very important and it's very urgent. Okay, I am excited to talk to you today about money that the government is giving away to entrepreneurs, small business people, and even independent contractors and families. And there's a lot of paperwork, there's a lot of different kinds of loans and grants and all kinds of things. And I don't know about you, but all that starts getting really confusing and it makes me want to go to the refrigerator and eat something. So I'm going to stay away from the refrigerator and I am going to talk to my friend Joe. Now, Joe is a CPA and he actually knows about all this stuff and he's been staying on top of it, and he's actually helping me wade through this to find out what applies to me, what it is I need to get done right away, and what I can be expecting, or what what I'm actually applying for and what I'm actually doing. Okay, so hi Joe, how are you doing?
Hello, Mr. Mel. How are you? I'm good.
Now, Joe, you're in New York area. How are things there for you and your
It's like
family?
a science fiction movie.
Really, huh?
Oh yeah, the streets are pretty much empty. You know, it's unique. I mean, I don't know what words to use, but
Yeah,
the truth is that this has been predicted for a long time. And what's sad is that we were not even close to being prepared.
right. Well, we hopefully are learning some lessons because apparently this won't be the last time that this kind of, that this is a threat that is actually could be in our future again, unless we take some action on it. So let's learn our lessons right now. I try not to watch the news. I try not to stay in fear and freak about it. I want to be diligent. I'm doing a lot of hand washing. They're very dry right now. Doing lots of hand washing, doing lots, of course, staying completely distant from people, doing what I can. And I hope the rest of America is doing that as well, so that we can put an end to this, learn our lessons, and move on. But the government has done a few things, and a bill was just signed yesterday or the day before that is going to get some money in the hands of people. So can you go over the different things that are becoming available?
Yeah, sure. I'll do the best that I can. Let me just say this, that this is a complete team effort. There is no way that one person can keep up with all of this. We have a mutual friend, Pat Wiley,
Yes.
and he's been working tirelessly trying to summarize the onslaught of information that's coming out.
Yeah.
And I'd like to point out that you could try to keep up with this stuff by watching the news and searching the internet. And all I have to say is good luck with that. We have a team of accountants, lawyers, credit people, and none of us can stay on top of this.
Hmm.
So, I just
Okay,
want to
so
give
now that
credit.
doesn't make me feel so bad. So now I'm just a lay
Oh,
person, but even if the professionals are having a challenge, dealing, it's understandable. So we're just going to give it our best effort, yes, and taking action now, not waiting until we have it all figured out. Because from my understanding, that there's a certain amount of money that's been allotted that we're literally going to be standing in line for at some point. So we want to get in earlier than later. Yes.
yes. And the first thing that people need to do is apply for unemployment insurance.
Okay.
They have opened the floodgates to allow people that were never qualified before. And we can go through some of the details when I get into the minutia of this. But that's the most important thing right now, because if you wait, the benefits don't start until you apply. And if you wait, you're going to be online.
Mm. Okay.
I mean, literally, you can try. I mean, it's going to be a wait. So that's just like an emergency measure. And even if you don't think you qualify,
Yes.
apply. The
Yeah.
worst that they can do is
Say no.
deny you.
Exactly. So, Jill, that's what I want to do in this call. I don't want to get into too much of the detail, so much as to do exactly what you just said. Like number one, number two, number three, like just the action steps. And then if people want to, you know, get into the more detail, then maybe we can let them know how they can find out those things from you directly or on a different venue. I want to keep this call kind of short and like to our immediate action steps. Okay, because I even feel like, as you said, that we got to do that right away. I can feel my blood pressure kind of rising, right? And like, oh, okay, well then stop talking. I got to get off, off of this call. I go do it, right? So I'm gonna make a list here. We're gonna make a list of what the action steps we need to be taking. So number one, unemployment insurance. I love that. That's totally actionable. Everybody can do that right away, right? You can apply for unemployment insurance online now. Yes. Okay.
Yes,
Cool.
and all you got to do is go to your state Department of Labor and just apply.
Perfect. Okay, so that's a state thing that you can apply for. Okay, next, what's number two?
Well, let me point out here that a lot of people, most people are focusing on the federal relief.
Okay.
There is a ton of state and local relief available.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And that's been part of my challenge because you know, staying up to date with the federal is a challenge enough. But we got 50 states that are offering relief.
Okay.
You know, so that's the first thing. Keep your mind open to what is available.
Okay.
Now, they're in the bill, and I gave you a link to the bill, so hopefully you can share that with everybody.
Yes.
Because that's the actual bill. Forget about what you're hearing on the internet about what they might do.
Okay.
Now, the bill for people, it's laid out very nicely into sections, and you can pretty much go to where your situation is.
Okay.
So that's the second step I would do, because if you're a renter or a landlord, they have a section for you. If you're a self-employed individual, they have a section for you. So that would be step two.
Okay.
Okay. Step three would be, and I don't want to, you know, I don't want this to sound like it's self-promotion, but it's the best way that I can get the information to people, is to join my Facebook group, Bedrock Business Builders.
Okay. I'll put the link for that.
That is where I am putting the collaborative effort of people like Pat Wiley and Debbie Morgan, some of the accountants that have stepped up. So that, I would say, is step three. That's the most efficient way to.
Yeah, because things are constantly changing too, right? I mean, it's not just this one stimulus package and now we're done. Now we just got to figure that out. It's like they're going to continue to pass bills. They're going to continue. And then, like you say, each state has their own packages as well. So there's a lot to stay on top of. And it's kind of a dynamic and moving target we have to keep our eye on.
Oh yeah, it's fluid. We don't know how bad this is going to get. You know, I could tell you that my girl is from China and she's got family there. And she told me in January that my son's wedding was going to be canceled, which was scheduled for May 2nd. And I told her she was crazy. She doesn't know the United States.
Oh, for a wedding that was in the United States, she predicted in January that the United States wedding was going to be canceled.
Yeah, she said all the weddings will be canceled because that's what happened in China. Her family has been in quarantine since the beginning, before January 1st, and they are still stuck in their houses.
Wow.
And she has been spot on with everything. So that's why I don't have to listen to the news. I listen to her.
Yeah. Wow.
So be prepared for a long journey in this. This is
well, and if I could stick in a little shameless self-promotion as well, what I'm doing is I am actually, as you know, I work with entrepreneurs on creating strategies for their businesses. And I know everyone's like kind of taking their eye off the ball of the future per se. and just trying to deal with, you know, the panic of what's happening on day to day with paying bills and so forth. But I am also working with entrepreneurs on looking at the future and how we can actually use this to our benefit. Okay, not on the backs of people that are hurting, but how we can actually morph our businesses, transmute them is actually what I like to say, transmute our businesses and be so adaptable and be able to pivot in such a way that as we get through this, that we'll come through shining on the other side. And sometimes we need that hope and those plans and those strategies, and we need to put them in place and take action on them now so that we're not left flat-footed after this is all over. Because this will end at some point. This will be over. And we don't want to just be starting at that point to think about, oh, okay, now, because everything's going to be different. When this is over, like business has changed. The stock market is going to be different. The way people buy things is going to be different. There's going to be so many things that it's going to be a whole new playing field. And if we're not prepared for that in advance, it's going to be very hard to get the momentum that we need in order to, you know, pick back up and to be at least where we left off, if not further along the way. So that's what I'm working with entrepreneurs with right now. And to tell you the truth, I mean, I know there's some terrible things that are happening out there, but there are some amazing things that are happening as well, especially in business. The opportunity is incredible. And if you ever wanted to get your business online, now is the time to do that. And if you don't know how to do that, then you need to direct message me and we'll just do a free call where you can get some ideas on what you can do about that. So we got 3 and 4 of what to do.
Yes, and you just touched on number 5, which I was going to cover, which is check your attitude. You know, we're entrepreneurs, Mel, and there's a Chinese proverb that I learned a long time ago: where there's chaos, there's opportunity. And I actually started this telling my people, this is the time to start organizing your closet, to start doing those blog posts that you've been putting off. Take a proactive approach. Like you said, this is going to end. This isn't the first time we've been through this.
Right.
You know.
Well, and if I could just say, in working with you, as I have for many, many years, you know, there's so many things that you've invited me to do in the past, you know, getting QuickBooks Online, like doing some proactive things that never really were a priority, you know, cleaning up some of my categories and you know, all the kinds of like minutia that I just did not want to do, didn't have time to do. And now it's like, wow, I can really implement some of these systems that are really going to streamline my business when this is all done. So, you know, it is like cleaning a closet, but it's like doing it with the financial and back end of my business as well. Not just, you know, the actual tangible closet, but those other closets that have been staying shut for a while.
Yes. So step 6 is to tap into your creative mindset. And I'm so proud of you because you told me last night that, you know, you have a dojo, which is a physical location with hand-to-hand combat and whatever you do there, you know, kickboxing. And so you're taking that business and you're creating it online, which for you, I'm excited for because it expands your reach to the entire world, really.
Yeah. And we've, like I say, we've been meaning to do that for forever, and it just never seems to be the right time. Well, suddenly it's the right time.
Yeah, and a lot of people are doing this. You know that we're in the event world.
Yes.
And we go to big events, you have events, and they're not happening right now.
No events.
And rather than sit on their hands, people are finding out that they can do the events online with technology like this.
Right. So
And
getting creative, like you said, what's really helpful is to brainstorm with people who are already doing it. So that is the best thing about having a mentor or about being in a mastermind where you can be getting different ideas, because, you know, we're all doing the best that we can right now with what we know. So part of a success strategy is to get and find other people who will help you see things from a new point of view, and you know, get those creative juices flowing so that you can come up with those really big ideas that are going to change your business.
Yes, and if this, I don't know if this is step 6 or 7, or if I'm backtracking, but you know, I did say check your attitude,
Yes.
and you know, we have to relax,
Mm.
especially if you have children,
Mm.
because they feel the energy.
Yes.
And if you have children, I'll give you a great step. I'll share the link with you. A friend of ours, Mrs. A, you know, Barbara Allison, AKA Mrs. A, she's a kindergarten
Yes.
teacher.
Yes. Yes.
And so she wrote a book for 99 cents if you have little ones at home, because they're feeling this. I mean, you want to talk about changing your routine? They're stuck in the house now. And there's a lot of, you know, energy. And if you're nervous, they're going to feel that. So what Mrs. A did, and you can find her on Amazon, she wrote a book to how to keep your children occupied
Oh, cool.
during this time.
I'll make sure to put a link for that in there.
And
Cool.
I wish she told me this stuff when I had little kids, because it was stuff like you're actually tricking them into doing things like cleaning their room.
Oh,
She
cool.
called it the robot exercise.
Oh,
But,
fun.
you know, so
Well,
we
you know, those
need,
of us who don't have kids at home anymore, does that work good for like husbands too?
well, yeah, it could. So one of them is you fill up your sink and you start putting plastic stuff in it, and you pour, and I said, that sounds like fun. I'm going to do that.
So your wife gets to
So,
use it on you. I love it. Hey, Joe, I want to just touch base on some of the things you're going to be talking about on your Facebook group, and specifically this SBA loan. You familiar with the loan program that's going to be happening?
yes.
Okay.
So, you know that most people do not qualify for these disaster loans. You have to have a certain credit score. Yeah, they're going to relax that a little. Uh, you have to have a certain credit score. You still have to show an ability to pay. And you know, there's hoops you got to go through. You know, you sent me the application, so there's all kinds of financial information that you have
Yeah.
to give. And the
Yeah.
sad part is that most people will not qualify. So
I
they're going to be,
understand that. So here's some things that I've heard about that, is that the $10,000 is a loan, a grant that they're forwarding in advance of accepting your application for a loan, and that if you would, you know, that it would be prudent to actually apply anyway, even if you get denied for a loan, because they're loaning up to up to $10 million. So, but they're forwarding $10,000 that is forgivable. So the idea being that if you can apply, and you do apply, that, I mean, the worst that can happen, like you said about unemployment, is they can say no. But they could also forward you $10,000, of which you would have to use on business expenses, of course, but that would be forwarded to you. So there is that opportunity. Yes, is that your understanding as well?
yes, but as you know, you got to be careful. And this is where you got to contact your accountant. And if your accountant doesn't know this stuff, and he doesn't know somewhere that you can get it, you might need to think about getting a new accountant, because this is my job. You know, it's not optional. And so what we found out is, you know, there's a distinction between a loan and a grant.
Yes.
Okay, that's a grant you don't have to pay back. Now, they also have a provision to go for an emergency loan to cover your payroll cost
Mm.
up to 2.5 times of your monthly payroll.
Okay.
But, and, oh yeah, and the attractive thing about that is it's forgivable. Okay, it's
Nice.
forgivable as long as you stay in business and you pay your employees. So you can't just take that money and spend it on accounts payable. That is for payroll. But
Okay.
here's the bad part about it. If you apply for that and you qualify, as far as I've seen so far, then you can't apply for those disaster loans. And
Okay.
the disaster loans are very favorable. It's, I think, 3.5, 3.75%, but you get up to 30 years to pay them back.
Okay.
So you got to make sure that when you apply for this stuff, that you're applying for the right
Mm.
stuff, because there's a lot of stuff to apply for.
Wow. Okay.
And
Okay.
so, yeah, you gotta hurry, but you also got to be careful.
Okay. That's good advice. Thank you, Joe. All right. So I'm going to put in the comments ways that you can get a hold of Joe if you want to speak to him some more, or get on his Facebook group so that you can stay up to date on all the things that are happening. Like he said, he's got a team of people. It's not just him. He's got a team of people that are working this from all different angles, and so that you can stay on top of how this can benefit you, your family, and your business. You know, the American dream is one that anyone can build a business, and you have already built some kind of a business. So we don't want that dream, being flushed down the toilet right now, right? We want to hang on to that dream and find a way to weather this storm and to come out even better on the other side. And that opportunity is available. And with little things like this, with a team of people, we can find out how we can actually do that and get money that's being put out there that we've already put. Okay, let's just be clear. The money from the government is our money. Okay, we're not like asking for handouts here. Okay, we've been putting in for exactly this kind of reason. So we want to take our turn in benefiting from the ways that we've been putting into our society. So thank you so much, Joe, for spending this time with me today. And I look forward to getting in, a lot more of my paperwork, finishing up my unemployment stuff today, and making sure getting my spot in line.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Okay. Take care,
And can I
everyone. Be safe.
just
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
can I just segue on what you said, because
Yes.
it's important. You know, my business is helping people get into business.
Hmm.
And if you're not in business, if you were thinking about a business, this might be the time to throw your hat in the ring.
Wow, that's a
And
great idea.
I'm not talking about a full-time business, because my advice is go into it slowly. You could start a side gig, so I preach the American dream. It's still alive, well and alive. And thank you for bringing that up, Mel.
Yeah, you can always do a side hustle. And, my thing is all about creating a business that is based on your passion and your personal mission. And if you are in touch with what it is you'd really like to do, why not spend a little bit of time dreaming about what that might look like and what that could be? And who knows, if you take those action steps now, one step at a time, nice and slow, like you said, Joe, and step forward into your actual dream, that is actually the American dream, right? Is to do work that we love, not just any old job or any old side hustle, but actually have your side hustle be where your heart really is, and to grow from there. So that's a great way to end this call. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mel.
Appreciate you. Take care.
Take care.